Grab your glasses, everybody. It's time for a Moonshine Safari.
Welcome to Moonshine Safari, everybody.
Welcome to Moonshine Safari. It is Independence Day.
It is. Happy Independence Day,
Happy
everybody.
Independence Day.
Well, that was yesterday. You're listening to it, but it's Independence Day now that we're recording.
Independence Day for us.
Right. And
now.
you'll probably hear some fireworks going off in the background and music also in the background because we turn up the music loud in the house on days like this because our dogs do not like the sounds of fireworks.
They freak the flip out.
They do.
And it's like, seriously, they shake so hard, we swear they're going to have a heart attack. So
yeah, so we turn up the music and we try to just chill them out, ignore it, and just kind of, get their minds on other things. And, it's everybody's fun right here in Arizona to shoot off their fireworks when they want to. And, hey, knock yourselves out. That's just not my thing. That's not our thing.
Not my deal.
That's not our thing. And going and watching them really isn't our thing.
No, because
either.
Mosquitoes will eat me.
This is true. But, Dinah, did you know that this is the 51st episode?
We're
one away.
Over halfway to 100.
We're one away from a year.
Okay, that's wild.
Yeah, one away from a year's worth of shows. And we couldn't have done any of that without you. So thank you so much for listening and watching and liking and clicking and all of that stuff. Right, and interacting. We'd like to give some shout-outs right now. Number one, shout-out to good old US of A. Yes, we are going to give a shout-out to our country. Those of you might not know, actually, the true Independence Day is July 2nd. The actually declaration of the statement of independence, if you want to say, was made on July 4th, and that's when... Yeah, I mean, if you look at the history, it says that's when it was proclaimed. But it was actually signed and everything.
July everybody accepted is on to the 2nd.
Yeah, it was... Yep, so happy Liberty Day from the tyranny. But, yeah, anyway. We want to shout out to all of our vets and those who are deployed and their families and the first responders. And all you guys,
absolutely.
We appreciate what you're doing. So you're hearing the dogs because
they
just heard a bark.
They just heard
a big pop. So, yeah. Hey, we saw Kathleen Madigan last weekend.
We did, and it was great.
Man, it was awesome. We had another great time. So shout out to Kathleen Madigan. A shout out to TSR, Talking Stick Resort. We had a wonderful time there.
It was great.
Yeah, it was good. There was
oh my gosh, it was so busy that day.
Oh my, it was. We couldn't get a valet parking. We had to park way down the hill, and I had to schlep everything up the hill. It was crazy.
How snarty that makes us sound?
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
First world problems, guys.
I know.
We couldn't get a valet.
I couldn't get a valet parking because it was full. I had to schlep my stuff up a hill. It was hot.
And I laugh because truthfully, guys, as you guys know, if you've been listening, I have MS. I'm riding a scooter. I'm not walking.
Look, we work hard to be able to afford the little times we get to go. We don't take week-long vacations in our family. We don't have time to do that. We are working and doing things. We don't have time to do that. So we take a weekend here and there. So when you go to the resort, well, you want to be treated like you're at a resort,
Oh, absolutely.
So you do the valet thing. But anyway, yeah. So, shout out to them, and yeah.
It was awesome, though. It was a great time.
It was good.
But there was a DJ, right? It was a DJ
There was
Cascade
a DJ party there, right. There was Cascade and some other guy that was there, too. That was, I guess I shouldn't say some other guy, supposedly very famous over the last 25 years, but that's not my kind of music, so I don't know who he was.
Exactly.
But the pool area was jammed, and then everybody was jammed, and then everybody came in drunk, and then the security was, it was crazy. It was nutty. But, I mean, it seemed like everybody was under control.
We had to go to the far elevator.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was good. We had a good time. And Robin and Del Toro was with us for the first time, actually spending the whole time there with us, and I think they had a good time as well. So, all right.
Yeah, they'd never seen her either, so that was their first time.
It was good. Okay, so do you have any shout-outs at all for anybody?
You know what? You're the one that's always really good at this.
All right. Well, it's time for music time. So you stick with us, and coming right up, what have we been listening to this week?
What have we been listening to?
Hold on.
What's Dana listening to? What's Josh listening to?
Welcome back, everybody, to Moonshine Safari.
Welcome.
I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, from beautiful Gilbert, Arizona.
Gilbert, Arizona.
And Moonshine Safari Studios. It's us.
It's us.
And it's you.
And it's you.
And you're here. And you keep repeating me like a parrot. You keep
Holly
repeating everything I'm saying.
Holly want a cracker?
Oh my gosh, no, he doesn't. All right, what have we been listening to, Dinah? What have you been listening to this past week?
All right, well, I actually do have something that's kind of a blast from the past. So, Robin and I were on our way to the office the other day, and we heard Andy Gibb.
That's funny.
Shoot, and Robin said, "I don't think I've ever heard this song before," and I go, "Well, it's not an 80s song." I said, "I'm pretty sure it's 70s." So I looked it up, and I can't even think of the name of it at the moment. It was made in 77, though. It's one of his most famous songs. I'm totally blanking. But basically, I ended up starting to get into some of the 70s stuff for a while. So that's what I've been listening to.
Oh, fantastic. I've been listening to Whiskeymeyers again. They just got a cool vibe, cool music. I really dig it. And some Montgomerygentry. And that's because
I dig
Dinah,
them.
Yeah, they're great. And those of you who listen to country music or knows that
Troy Gentry.
Yeah, Troy. I couldn't think of his first name. Sorry, Troy. I knew it was a T. He passed away a few years ago in a helicopter crash. And but their music is awesome, and it's still going. They're still singing, or he's out there singing. I don't know what his first name is. Montgomery. Do you know what his first name is? Mr. Montgomery. John Michael's brother.
Well, I was going to say, 'cause he has a brother also,
John Michael Montgomery's brother. And I should know his name. The guy with the big hat. That's what you know.
He does have a big hat. Yeah, he does.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been listening to.
If you've ever seen any of the tributes to Troy Gentry, they're sad but really good.
Yeah, he's a very talented man. Very talented. It's a sad loss. It just really was. All right, coming up. Time to tickle your funny bone. It's Hillbilly Word of the Week with your favorite Mexican, Dinah. I can't find the damn button.
Yeah! Oh, no.
Welcome back, everybody, to Moonshine Safari.
Welcome.
I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, guys. If I sound like I'm really worn out and tired, it's because I am. Dinah had me cooking all day for the 4th of July.
Yeah, I did.
And then eating all of that, I'm almost about to pass out into a food coma. I really am. If you want to see the burgers and stuff I made for Dinah, I may check out our Instagram page, or check out my Instagram page at CantanChrisJosh. You can see I made some potato salad with some pesto and some other stuff, and some baked beans, and then some tasty burgers and stuff, right? So
okay,
I'm so stuffed and standing here.
And
I just want to
seriously,
pass
you should
out.
tell them about your potato salad.
Oh, I will. Maybe I will on a different recipe, drinks and recipes.
Yeah, because it was awesome, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about a new potato salad.
One, not to be rude, but
yeah,
it was amazing.
It was kicked up a notch, as Emeril Lagasse would say. They kicked it up a little bit. All right, it is time to tickle your funny bone with Hillbilly Word of the Week. And today we have a word and definition that Dinah is going to share with you. So, Dinah, by all means, share the Hillbilly Word of the Week.
Today's Hillbilly Word of the Week. Hankering, which means you have a strong desire to acquire or do something. So, in other words, I've got a hankering to go to McDonald's and get some chicken nuggets.
That's it.
Like that.
Or you don't have a hankering to go, you have a hankering for nuggets.
Hankering for nuggets.
But you have a hankering to go, you just have a hankering to go.
You have a hankering.
See, you just have a hankering.
Yuns.
It's a noun.
Get it?
It's a noun.
It's a noun.
All right, coming up. Pave.
Pave.
Yeah, it's a peeve. Fireworks. That's a peeve.
Get ready to get your britches in a bunch. It's time for Pave of the Week.
Welcome back, everybody, to Moonshine Safari.
I'm Dinah.
She is.
And that's Josh.
It is. I am. Hey, it's time for peeve.
You got a peeve.
I got a little bit of a peeve, and so I
got a hankering to tell us about
it. We like talking stick resort and everything, and they were busy, and I get it. And we had got 2 rooms. We had reserved 2 rooms, right? And our check-in is at 4:00. Nowhere did I ever see or read or anything saying, oh, by the way, if your room's not ready, you have to wait.
And it's never happened before.
Never. And it is busy, and I get it. But one of the rooms wasn't ready. And I'm like, well, why? I mean, we made reservations like months ago.
And we were not early.
Why? Why is my room not ready? And she said, well, it's give you the whole song and dance. Like, well, it's the whole overbooking thing, just like planes do, just like airlines do. They do the same thing, and because they have to make their money. I get it. They have to do what they do, but it's not fair to other people who, and it's not like I had to wait for a long time. It's really the principle of the thing. It's kind of like that Seinfeld thing.
It is like the Seinfeld thing. You can't just take the reservation.
You have to hold it. There's a point. It's like you can't just go, well, yeah. You really can't. We don't have your room ready. Well, how can that be? How can that be? I have the reservations in my hand. How can you tell me that this is not done? Because I guarantee you, if I stayed past checkout time, they'd be charging me more money. But they also didn't give us
have to ask for it late.
Right. They didn't give us a break on not being able to check in on time. So that's a little bit of a peeve for me.
No, it's annoying.
Yeah,
it is annoying.
So it's not like ending the deal or it caused me to have a bad time. It was just, I think it's just not cool. That's all.
And it's like you're saying, it's not like we're one of those people we just showed up and asked for a room. We had reservations.
If I just showed up and asked for a room, I wouldn't expect anything.
3 months. 3 months ago, we made those reservations.
It's like flying. Okay, that's like flying standby. But if 3 months ago I made a plane reservation and paid for a ticket, you better be damn skippy. I'm gonna be getting on a plane, and you're not gonna tell me I'm getting bumped.
Bump somebody, right?
You're not telling me that. So yeah, it's anyway. So that's kind of my peeve.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
All right. So that's a peeve. Moving on down the road. It's time for pro tip. You got a pro tip?
I have to think.
All right. Well, think.
Get out your notepads. It's time for pro tip of the week.
Welcome back, everybody, to Moonshine Safari.
Welcome back, guys.
Excuse me. A little indigestion from all that stuff that's
we
percolating down in there.
We
We did. All right, it's time for pro tip of the week.
It's a pro tip. That was a big one, guys.
Yeah, that was another
What you're hearing in the background is still the fireworks.
Yeah, we got some people just right down the street. It used to be against the law in Arizona to shoot off fireworks, and reckon why that was because we live in a desert, everything's dry, and everything basically you look at it wrong and it catches
kindling.
on fire. Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, pro tip.
Yes.
All right.
Are you losing your train of thought?
I lost. I'm serious. I'm sitting here going, I had a pro tip, and now I do not have a pro tip.
Did you lose it?
It was going to be a simple one.
Oh, okay. Is it gone? All right, because I do kind of
Yeah, go ahead, because I forgot mine.
As everybody may or may not know, if you've been listening, if you haven't, I would encourage you to go back and listen. I have not been... We've been buried as far as what we do for work, which is the mortgage thing, which everybody should know by now. So I've been it's all I can do to do the show every week and keep up on my social media, and that's it. That's all I got right now.
Tough.
So, but that's not my pro tip. My pro tip does relate to what I do though. I've had a lot of people, in the past, especially if you're from the, East Valley area in Arizona, you know that so you have Mesa, Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert, and they're kind of all in a cluster. And then Queen Creek is more outskirts. Apache Junction is more outskirts. I mean, there are some areas that are sort of further out on the east side. And then, the west side, you have Buckeye, and there's some places like that. Well, when the valley starts to grow, of course, a lot of the builders went out far, like past Queen Creek, areas called Santan Valley. I don't know. Like I said, this would make sense if you guys live in this area. But all I'm saying is, and I try to preach this to my people, because the houses out there still are fairly inexpensive comparatively to the houses that are sort of more in town, which makes sense. I mean, that's how it works. The problem with that is you have to take that into account when you're looking to buy a home. Location, location, location. If you are working in Tempe and now you are driving to Santan Valley, that's an hour easy, depending on traffic. And you are giving up a lot of your time, which might be okay for you. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying count the cost. Count the cost of the gas. Count the cost of the time that you're taking. Count all of that, because sometimes people have a little bit of buyer's remorse a year or two down the road when all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I have this big, beautiful house, and gosh, it was cheap, but I rue the day I bought this house because I'm spending so much time driving and all of that. So all I'm saying is, guys, if you're going to be looking at purchasing a house and stuff like that, count location. Count that cost. Count that cost.
That's right. So many people have, especially when you don't realize it and you think, oh, to save the money. And some people do for a while. And then you go, oh, the drive is killing me.
It's just too much at some point.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But all right. Thanks, Dana.
My pleasure.
I do remember what the.
Oh, do you? Oh, you can do yours too.
My pro tip was basically just when you go to the resort, bring your own alcohol.
Oh, absolutely.
That was my pro tip.
Holy majoli.
Bring your own alcohol.
That's always a good idea.
Because the drinks are not
well, they're usually barely light.
Yeah. Well, there was none in mine.
And
we'll talk about that later in the drinks and recipes. Okay, coming up.
I don't
know what we're going to talk about. Something.
I do.
Okay, cool. Stay tuned.
Here we come.
Can't see.
Josh can't see.
I can't find the stupid.
He can't.
Shh. Quiet and listen. It's time for Marriage Story of the Week.
Okay.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody.
Welcome back, guys.
I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
Hey, what are we going to talk about, Dina? What
you got? All right, so, I mean, I kind of thought it was kind of cool when last week you were giving the more, or I should say, lesser-known facts about Independence Day, which I thought was a nice little history lesson.
Okay.
So today, I think we're going to we all know that my fondness is for weird news stories.
Right.
So we're going to have weird historical news stories.
Okay.
And this kind of stemmed from a little thing that Robin was telling us about. So it started with that.
Okay.
So Josh knows about at least one of these.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you're going to talk about.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So who has heard of, Josh, remember, the Great Molasses Flood?
The Boston-molassacre.
It's so crazy. So this happened in January of 1919. I challenge you to look it up because I swear I'd never heard of this until I think it was.
You ever hear the term slower than molasses in January?
Woohoo! It's not true. It's a lie.
It's a lie. Molasses was booking in January in 1818.
Really
1818 or 1819?
No, 1919.
1919. 1919.
Okay, so apparently, and they called it a massacre because it was awful. So there was a neighborhood in Boston that they were they stored molasses in for distribution and sale. That storage, whatever you want to call it, that was holding it, broke open. And there was 2.3 million gallons of molasses that flowed out of this, I don't know, reservoir. I don't know what you'd want to call it.
Yep.
And basically ran through this town. Okay, and I say molasses and everyone goes, oh, well, how hard is that to get out of it? 35 miles an hour this stuff was going.
Right, and it was a wave about 20 feet high. It killed like 21 people, I think.
Yeah, there were deaths. There was, I mean, horses, animals, Hundreds of people injured, stuck. And what happened was that the temperature rose 40 degrees in one day. It went from basically 0 to 40, and it ruptured. So. And they say they said that like for years and years and years after that, on a hot day, you could still smell it because it sunk into everything.
Yeah.
It ended up being part of everything that even grew there. I mean, I don't
crazy.
even know how you begin to clean that up.
A lot of biscuits.
I mean, they said whatever. They said it moved houses and buildings, and God forbid, horses were getting stuck in it, kind of like flypaper. It was awful.
Wow.
So
I bet the British were like, ha ha.
Dumb Americans.
They're like, ha ha. That's what you get for the tea.
The Boston Tea Party.
You get the Boston Mollassacre.
Okay. So this one, I don't think Josh has heard of, and I don't know who else has heard of. This is called the Dancing Plague. Have you?
The Dancing Plague? No.
Yeah. Of 1518.
Oh, heck no.
Okay.
That was way before my time.
So it was a case of dancing mania that occurred in, well, it's modern day France. I don't know how to say the name of the city, so I'm not gonna. But you can look this up on Wikipedia if you want to. It happened in 1518, like I said.
Show me the name of the city.
It's, like I said, it says modern day France. It's in the hyperlink right there. I don't want to touch it.
Strasbourg or Alsace.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, so essentially, the outbreak began where a woman began to dance fervently in a street in the city. It lasted somewhere between 4 and 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. And people were dropping dead of heart attacks because they would not stop dancing. I'm dead serious. Look it up. It is so wild and crazy, but it happened. So, theories later were that there was some somehow a mass ingestion of maybe something similar to LSD, something along those lines that made people just kind of in 1518.
There were governments in 1518.
Well, I know, but I don't know. How would they deliver it to everyone? I guess in the water they could, but
food.
So yeah, it's crazy. They danced themselves to death. So when somebody says you're going to dance to death, yeah, they did.
Wow.
Some people
did.
So it was a little nutty.
Sometimes these sayings have meaning.
Like what are you saying?
Slower than molasses in January.
Oh, that's true. Oh, there was another
Boom.
one.
That was another one. That was a big one.
That was a big one.
Yep. All right, what else you got?
Okay, and so the last one I have, and I might have even told you about this before.
Okay.
But everyone, of course, knows about the sinking of the Titanic and how awful that was and everything like that. Did you know that before the sinking of the Titanic, in when did it happen? Let's see. It was several years before that. There was a book that was published by as a novel, okay? And it was called...
Oh, is this the one that prognosticated about the sinking?
It did.
Okay, I think I've heard about this. Yeah.
So there's this book, and it's and there's this massive ocean liner that's supposed to be unsinkable and all of this stuff, and it hits an iceberg and it sinks. I mean, it essentially tells the story of the sinking of the Titanic before the Titanic happened. Before the Titanic was even thought of.
That's because it was from a different...
There's a lot of conspiracy theories about that.
That's from a different...
Anyway.
It was a different dimension.
It
was
could be.
Dimension 3.
What's that other theory? Time slip, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, so it's kind of interesting. It's called The Sinking of a Modern Liner.
Okay.
It was written in 1886, which is about...
Holy crap. Yeah.
Roughly 30 years before the Titanic.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's kind of cool and crazy at the same time. It's one of those things where you can watch a lot of theories. I mean, I've even seen conspiracy theories that say that the Titanic never actually sunk.
So what about all those banking dudes that were on it?
Yes, that it was a plan to sink it, but that they didn't expect. They expected everybody to get off, but then all these events conspired against. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, the point is, it was weird and wild, and I thought some interesting, kind of crazy history would be fun to look at today.
I thought that was great. Thank you so much. And see, seriously. Truth is stranger than fiction.
It absolutely is. I mean, it's like kind of like we talk about
you
all
make
the time.
Up some weird stuff, but when you talk about a molasses massacre,
that's wild.
I mean, come on.
Well, it's funny because Robin was asking, she said, "Have you ever heard of this?" And we're like,
"Nope,
what?
Never
the
heard
molasses?
Of it.
What?
Right? Never heard of it.
Is that code for somebody ran out and didn't have any for their biscuits,
right,
or I mean, what's the deal?
What happened to the molasses? I don't know. All right, coming up, drinks and recipes.
Drinks and recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out your glasses. It's time for the Moonshine Safari drinks and recipes.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, guys.
Yeah, to Moonshine Safari. That's Dinah.
I'm
Josh.
Dina. See, he messed me up that time. He caught me.
Right.
That's Josh over there.
It is. Hey, it's drinks and recipes time.
It is.
It is. Hey, we had a... let me start over. We talked about Josh's Bloody Moon, Mary, whatever, Bloody Moon drink that where I take moonshine and Bloody Mary mix. The reason that we talked about the pro tip about bringing your own alcohols, because when you go to resorts and stuff like that, yeah, they're kind of chintzy on their alcohol and stuff like that. In fact, I had at a cantina there, I won't name the name, but the drink was probably one of the worst, weakest drinks I've ever had. And for the price you pay for them, they ought to be good. Anyway, so you just bring your own. That's just the smart thing to do. However, because I love me some Bloody Marys, Dinah over here found some zigzag Bloody Mary mix. And I'm just telling you, it's pretty good. It comes in like a little 6-pack cans, like a little Red
and
Bull
it's
thing.
just a mix.
Yeah,
You're
just a
adding your
mix.
own alcohol.
Yeah, just a mix. And I didn't think at first it was going to be spicy, and then the spice kind of snuck up on me. And it's good. It's really good. I do still like the was it Mrs. T's? I think that one's good. The spicy mix is good. But yeah, a couple of ounces of moonshine and some of that over ice, and
you're set.
Whew, that's what you need.
And it was spicy, like you said.
No, it
First
was.
You said it not, and then it snuck up on you.
Yeah, the first drink or two was not
Yeah.
not very spicy, and then after that, because it doesn't really say it's spicy and bold. I mean, it says it has things in there that should be, but usually if you get spicy mix, it's spicy, and you can see the pepper, and it tells you. But
right.
no, this is good. It's really good, and you guys should check them out. And of course, we don't get paid by anybody. We don't get promoted
we just
by
tell you
anybody
what we're
or anything.
experimenting with and what we're eating or
Yeah.
drinking or whatever. And then
So when exactly. So when we share stuff with you, it's just our own opinions. That's all it is. It's stuff that we've tried and we like
man.
or we don't like, and we don't mean any offense to anybody. If you like it, great, awesome.
if you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, that's great and awesome too.
Tell us what you do like.
Exactly. That would be wonderful if you did that. And some music suggestions would be awesome as well. So you can do that and send those suggestions to us at Josh and Dinah at moonshinesafari.com.
And also, my goal at this point my current goal is to learn how to work my new camera.
Yeah, we're going to try and get some
video.
videos. Yeah, we're going to try and maybe the next year we're going to transition into some video stuff instead of just doing audio. So.
And then you won't,
Huh?
I don't know. You might
We'll
like
see.
our little silhouettes.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, everybody, that's show 51.
That's it, guys. Happy July 4th,
Yeah.
Independence Day / America's birthday.
Happy Independence Day.
Everybody has the right to think what they want to in this country, and that's why we are lucky to live here. The fact of the matter is,
You're free to.
all the protests that we get to do because we live here.
Yep.
So, kudos. If you want to go out and protest, do it. And remember that you can do it because you live here.
That's right.
Just saying.
Yeah, I was watching a protest today on the news. People were walking in Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July on Independence Day screaming for America to be gone. And I find that ironic and how ignorant and just willingly stupid. Because these people are willingly stupid.
Because logically it makes no sense. Because nowhere would you be able to get away with that.
You couldn't be walking down the street of another country wishing that it be gone without getting a bullet put in your brain. So, yeah, it's amazing that you want this country gone. But you know what? You can always leave. No one's keeping you here. You can always go to a country that would be more to your liking.
Absolutely.
That's easy to do.
And you know what? At the same time, like we said, we recognize that that's one of the protections that we're given.
I think everybody who thinks
granted.
they should just walk into the country you want to. Just go. Just walk and just you think of open borders should be that way. Just go walk into another country where you want to. Just do it. Good advice.
But remember that the reason you can have your
It's
little
not America.
protest.
It's not America. Don't act like you're an American when you're over there, and don't act like you have any freedom because you don't.
But the reason you can have your protest here is because it's here.
You have liberty here
It's
because
amazing.
people fought for it
And
and died for
fantastic
it
and awesome.
and continues to fight for it while you're
So,
trying to
you know
give
what?
it all
By
away.
all means, try to change the things that you think are wrong. At the same time, remember what
Yeah.
keeps us us.
Yeah, it's free. See, we can get on here and rant and do what we want because we live in this free country. And you have the right to not listen.
You do.
Or listen.
Or
and that's
listen.
what makes it great, right?
Or tell us or listen and tell us you hate it.
Tell it. Yeah, exactly.
So
Or do whatever. So, anyway, guys, we
guys,
appreciate you. Thank
happy
you so
4th.
much. Be good to
hope
one
you have
another.
a safe evening.
Okay, be good to one another. Spread that shine. Bye.
Spread it. See ya.
Yeah! Thank y'all for coming by to Moonshine Safari. May your glasses be full and your hearts happy.
Hey y'all, welcome to Moonshine Safari. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as well as check the description for information on our social media sites, as well as our Patreon account to help support our adventures in the Moonshine Wilderness.